How you doing, guys? Today I'm going to wrap up the 857 build. It's been about a year since I started this, and I've been picking at it on and off, as you know, just to get it to this point. I did take it to the Wheel Horse show, but it's gone over some transformations even since then. This was a fun build. I really like this tractor. It's gotten some good reception from people, so I'm glad that people like it. Runs pretty good. Do have a couple little issues with the motor still. I don't know what's going on with it, but nothing too major. I'm just going to run it and we'll go from there. So what did I do? Well, first off, as you know, I started off with a 1967 Wheel Horse 857. I had the original Kohler 8 horsepower motor on it, but it had a bad transmission. So then we swapped, or I swapped the 8-speed transmission from a B60 into it, so that way we'd have a little more gearage, I guess to say, and plus I like the look of the two sticks. Then my brother found that basket case 310, so I got the motor off of that, and that's when the project kind of spiraled out of control for me, and I started to figure out how I was going to get the 10 horsepower motor into the short frame 857. And what did I do? Well, I did some searching around. There's a lot of members that gave me a hand and explained to me that, you know, this is what you need to do. So that's basically what I did. And what was it? If we take a look right here, I used a John Deere. I know I said those two words with a Wheel Horse. I used a John Deere oil pan. Basically a stumpy little oil pan right there. Then I made an adapter plate so I can put it on the wide base Magnum motor. It's actually a K-series oil pan. Completely rebuilt the motor. I did put a couple K-series parts in the Magnum motor. Number one, I went to a steel governor gear setup. I went to a K-series breather, valve breather system. Because the Magnum had their recirculation into the air box, and I didn't want that because I wanted to run the GT14 intake on it. What else did we do to it? Oh, I have a K-series carburetor, so it's fully adjustable. It has been running a little bit rich, so I think I washed the cylinder down a couple times by accident, but got a fully adjustable K-series carburetor. I even went to a K-series throttle link. And then I did a standard rebuild on the motor. It has an aftermarket 20 over piston in it. It has Kohler valves, Kohler springs, Kohler rod. So essentially it's a Kohler rebuild. Aftermarket starter. I did upgrade to a 15 amp stator. So the motor I think is built pretty good. All the balance gears were taken out of the motor too. Another little tidbit we did to it, or I did to it, I did upgrade to a foot throttle. That was not what I originally wanted to do. I didn't want to make it a hot rod, but when I was at the Wheel Horse show, it was such a pain in the neck to do the push-pull twist of the throttle, so I removed that and went to a foot throttle. And I'll be honest, the tractor's just so much more enjoyable to ride. Dash plate was basically all redone to a point. I just took the original cover plate and cut the slot from the 8-speed into it, so that way it looks as clean as possible. What else did we do? Well, I sanded the entire tractor down with some 2000 grit, and I just hand polished it just to get rid of the rusty look to it. So that, obviously, I did the custom exhaust. I'm not a big fan of stacks, so I went the opposite direction with the exhaust pipe. I went down and under. Yes, it does kind of render the tractor useless in the sense that you can't put a motor deck on it, or you can't put a plow, but that's not what I wanted. We have the 310 front rims. Oh, excuse me, not 310. I forgot where these. No, the B60. That's right. The front rims came off a B60. So that way you got the big dish tires. I'm gonna make you all hiss again because the rears are from a John Deere. Yeah, I whispered it that time. And I had them powder coated. The rims were powder coated black. The exhaust is ceramic coated by my friend. He did that. The seat was recovered by my brother's father-in-law. I get a lot of comments on that seat. It's actually real nice. It's good green. It's not leather, it's vinyl, but you know, it's nice and padded, soft. The actual seat frame is an original 60s or 67 seat frame, but I had to buy a tractor for it. We'll get a good look at the back of the tractor. I try to keep it basically looking like a tractor, you know. I did buff through in a few spots when I did my sanding. There was all these holes in the fender pan were not factory, but were there when I got the tractor. And I didn't try to cover it up or anything. The rear light here is from some old tractor. I don't know where it came from. I got it at a tractor show. I did put an LED bulb in it, so it doesn't draw much power. The front lights are from they were on a dump truck in a junkyard here locally, but the bulbs are actually from the 310 that I got the motor from, and they're all wired in. One of the other features I did to this tractor is I have an electric fuel pump. I hid it underneath here so you don't really see it. Everything is runoff relays. You can see the relays right there. The lights are run off a relay. The fuel pump runs off the relay. The starter solenoid is actually on the other side of this tower. So when you pull it back, or when I pull it back, and you take a look, you don't see a whole lot of wiring and tubes, and it just comes out real nice. I think it came out real nice, I should say. Rides real nice. I did have to cut the belt guard back a little bit in order to get the motor. All I did was just take the stock line and I just cut. I think I cut like 1.5 inches, 2 inches off it, and then just re-spot welded the bracket into place. Same thing with the lower pucker. This little thing there, I had to cut that back and spot weld it back on. And that's about. Oh, and then the other big thing we did, I relocated the battery underneath the seat. Pretty clean installation, I think. You know, I had to make a couple notches on either side of the seat tower, and then I used the battery tray that was in the front of the tractor, and I just dropped it in there, bolted it in, and nice and solid. There's no wiggle of the battery. The poles are way below the seat pan. They're way far away from the seat stay, so there's no need or no worry of anything touching. So that's that. Everything locks into place like it should. I did lengthen the steering column about 3/4 of an inch because I never liked how these 857s had the steering wheel so low. So I did just raised it up. It's the original steering wheel. Raised it up. I don't think it really looks bad at all. I think it really kind of, almost with the bigger tires and stuff, it looks a little more, I guess you'd say, correct. I don't know. But let's fire it up. So when I click the switch up to accessory, or the first click in the ignition switch, you'll hear I'm hoping you'll hear the fuel pump click on, because that comes on first, and then, you know, obviously the start circuit will send power to the starter, will kick it over. Now, I did wire the old starter generator light to the start circuit, so when you go up the first click, the pump comes on, but then when you hit start, the light will come on as long as the starter motor is spinning. Once the starter motor stops spinning, then the light will go out. So it looks kind of cool. Cigarette lighter works. It's actually stupid clean from the original, but it does work. Let's make sure we're neutral, we're in high. Now, you know this thing's not going to start. Pump's on. cool today. Come on. There we go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your nice comments about this tractor. Thank you everybody at the Wheel Horse Show who came up and said, wow, I really like the tractor. It's great to watch it on YouTube. I will be coming to you soon with my next project. So, until then, thank you for watching. I do really appreciate all your interest. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.